Hi, I'm Carrie Butler, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
Welcome to the Broadway.com show, your weekly guide to everything happening on the Great White Way. Or as we like to think of it, the only people left on the planet who haven't been asked to contribute a song to the SpongeBob musical. Let's get started with the news. What's the buzz, Imogen?
It may have been one of the most highly anticipated Broadway debuts of the season. However, the Forest Whitaker-led Huey will shutter after only 55 performances at the Booth Theatre on March the 27th. Directed by Michael Grandage, Eugene O'Neill's classic one-act also stars Tony winner Frank Wood and had been scheduled to play through June the 12th. The production received solid reviews, so hopefully this turn of events won't put Oscar winner Whitaker off the Great White Way for long.
After hitting the bloody prom together in Carrie, Broadway alums Derek Klena and Christy Altomare are reuniting in the far classier Anastasia at Hartford Stage, playing lovers Dimitri and Anastasia. This Broadway-bound musical adaptation of the animated hit film will also star Mary Beth Peil, Manuel Feliciano, John Bolton, Carolyn O'Connor, and Nicole Skymecca. Ragtime writers Terrence McNally, Lynn Ahrens, and Stephen Flaherty are penning the musical, which will be directed by Tony winner Dargo Tresnick. Performances start May 12th in Hartford, Connecticut. Consider our Amtrak booked.
If you've ever thought there should be a Broadway musical about the Backstreet Boys, you're not alone. This week, Brian Luttrell exclusively told Broadway.com he has been developing a musical about the boy band for 4 years. Luttrell, whose 13-year-old son Bailey is making his Broadway debut in Disaster, described his musical as Jersey Boys meets Cirque du Soleil. The Backstreet Boys, which consists of Luttrell along with A.J. McClain, Howie Dorough, Nick Carter, and Kevin Richardson, has been nominated for 7 Grammy Awards and is one of the best-selling boy bands in history. BSB told their story in the recent documentary, Show 'em What You're Made Of, but a live version, you know fans want it that way.
Here's how a meeting in the Netflix casting office goes. Hey, we need a star for our new series. What should we do? I know, let's go see a Broadway show and scoop up one of those dynamos. First up, Hamilton scene stealer Jonathan Groff has landed the lead role in the new series Mindhunter, which comes from director David Fincher and is based on the true crime book that details how the FBI's elite serial crime unit profiles some of the country's most infamous serial killers. And Tony winner Neil Patrick Harris has officially joined Netflix's adaptation of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events as the villainous Count Olaf. Netflix, you may borrow these boys, but they better come home for regular visits.
John Leguizamo is returning to the New York stage. John Leguizamo, Latin History for Dummies, will bow off-Broadway at the Public Theatre next spring. The show is inspired by Leguizamo's observations of the absence of Latin American history in school curriculums, and he'll break down 3,000 years of history into just 90 minutes. We're keeping a close eye on this one. Leguizamo's previous solo productions, including Ghetto Clown and the Tony-nominated Freak, tend to transfer to Broadway.
Hi, I'm Stephen Pasquale, and you're watching the Broadway.com show with Paul Wontorek.
Our star of the week is giving one of the most riveting performances on Broadway. In Blackbird, Jeff Daniels plays Ray, a sex offender who is tracked down by the young girl he abused 15 years earlier. She confronts him at his office, and what ensues is raw, emotional, and complicated. Daniels is revisiting the part which he played in the show's U.S. premiere off-Broadway in 2007. He was devastating then, and he's devastating now. His chemistry with co-star Michelle Williams crackles with intensity. For a spectacular return to an immensely difficult role, you, Jeff Daniels, are our star of the week.
This week, we're giving a thumbs up to the news that Oscar-winning director Danny Boyle is in talks to helm the long-in-the-works film adaptation of Miss Saigon. We've been hearing about and looking forward to this movie musical for a long time. We even remember when Empire creator Lee Daniels was on board. But we're psyched that this project continues to be a priority for producer Cameron McIntosh and these high-profile directors. The movie version is in our minds and we want it ASAP. But we suppose the Broadway-bound revival, due to arrive in spring 2017, will tide us over until Hollywood turns the heat on and gives us the movie of our dreams.
Thumbs down. Producers of Nerds, a musical.comedy, have pulled the plug on the long-brewing Broadway musical that would have brought computer giants Bill Gates and Steve Jobs to the stage. This is super bummer news for fans of the show, which first founded the New York Musical Theater Festival 11 long years ago and was set to start at the Longacre Theater on April 1st. And the cast, led by Rory O'Malley, Brian Thenkert, Patty Murin, and Lindsay Mendez. Producer Carl Levin blamed the show's shutdown on the loss of a major investor. But then again, maybe they just couldn't get those holograms to work.
Thank you for watching this week's Broadway.com show. We leave you with a sneak peek of Laura Benanti in She Loves Me, the sweet as vanilla ice cream Broadway revival that will officially open on March the 17th. See you next time.
Does that mean I'm freezing? That's because it's cold out. And still I'm incandescent, and like some adolescent, I'd like to scrawl on every wall I see.